Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah, Kuhulimla, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Makahakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who do rule well, that by the Spirit taught us his beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and H.I.M that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. Jachana and the Waf just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. We wanted to touch on this particular article, and it's a section in it that I'm going to get at. And this is with this young Eve. She went on this cruise. It says, I paid $300 for 2 nights at Margaritaville cruise from Florida to the Bahamas, and I wouldn't do it again. Okay, so now it goes off into, I guess, they, the buffet was shutting down at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You got that part. It says the pools were much smaller than expected, and she didn't think they was filled with enough water. Anyway, these are things that you should be able to go on a website and kind of look at. Maybe she didn't check the reviews. It says my family members purchased Wi-Fi, but only worked on certain parts of the ship. But this is the point that I want to get to right here. Can you see her holding this damn pig right here? She's holding a pig, right? Our excursion to go swimming with pigs was fun, but disappointing. And she says that this was the highlight of the trip, basically. It says, let me see. Let me just get to the point on this. Well, let me start from the top here. It says, on day 2, the ship arrived at Grand Bahama Island, where we were able to leave the ship for an excursion run by a third party before heading back to the port of Palm Beach. We had the option of booking an excursion when booking the cruise or while on the ship the day we boarded. Passengers were able to choose between things like swimming with dolphins, swimming with pigs, having an up-close encounter with dolphins, or spending the day at either the Viva Windham. Okay, that's okay. But this is what she done, though. This is the shit that bugging me out. I'm like, so you would spend money to go swim with pigs? Why the fuck would you go do something like that? It says, my sister and I booked the excursion to swim with pigs on Crystal Beach, which cost $100 per person. So you spent the extra $100 just to go swim with some pigs? Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, it says, this was the highlight of our trip, but the experience was not what we thought it would be. The excursion was less about swimming with the pigs and more about feeding them. The pigs were swimming around while we were trying to get them to come over using the apples we were given. In addition, 40 other guests from the cruise were competing for the attention of about 6 large pigs, which was overwhelming and overstimulating. It was a great time, but the human to pig ratio was a bit imbalanced, and it was a race to get a pig's attention before another guest got in your way. The pigs were so big they almost knocked people over, and there was a lot of pushing. Now, when I grew up in the South, those were called hogs, because you have what they would call pigs, but they would get as large as a damn cow. Some of these, these, if you've ever seen, a lot of people don't really know about farming like that. But when I grew up in the South, man, you would see actual hogs. We call them hogs. Or sow, whatever you want to call them, but we call them hogs because they would literally get as big as a damn cow. So I can imagine these particular, I can imagine them being in water. I've never seen them like that, but I'm pretty sure that they swim really well. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, they got a nice amount of power. But anyway, I just wanted to just touch on this for a hot sec because first off, we're not supposed to even be touching pigs and shit like that. So it's just kind of weird that they spent $100 to go actually swim with pigs. That's kind of weird. That's weird as hell. I've never heard. Well, I guess that's a part of a cruise, and that's probably something they're into over there in the Bahamas like that. Well, let's get into the law on the swine, man. And there's a couple of scriptures. Leviticus 11:7. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean unto you. Deuteronomy 14:8, it goes a little bit further. It says, and the swine, which is pig or oink oink or hog or whatever you want to call it. It's swine, bacon, ham, pork chops. We're not supposed to be eating that stuff. We're not even supposed to be touching this animal. This animal's unclean. Here she go in a picture holding one, and then she spent the extra $100 to go swim with one. It says, and the swine, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. So we're not supposed to touch these animals. You know what I'm saying? And we're definitely not supposed to eat these animals. But our people do eat pork chops. They eat bacon. They eat ham. They eat, chitlins and pig ears, pig feet, and hog head saw, whatever the shit they call it. But anyway, it was just weird to me that that she was actually upset about that experience. Like, who spends $100 to go swim with some pigs, man? And like I said again, I'm pretty sure those are probably really large animals, man. Because I'm telling you, some of them will get the height of 4 to 5, or at least 4 feet, and sometimes about 2 to 3 feet in width. Those animals can get real big. I've seen them. I've seen them because, like I said, when I grew up in the South, a lot of my neighbors, they had them as they had farms. That was what they was doing. They was raising them, and they were selling them to other people. They would butcher them and do all these things, and it was just something that I was just never into. Like, like what the hell is, because they were just nasty. They would always, kind of waddle, and they just always muddy and dirty and shit. They would always try and waddle down off into the mud, I guess, to keep cool. I don't know. Anyway, but I just wanted to touch on this. We can get a lesson out of everything, because there are newcomers that are coming into this truth, and they don't know no better. They don't know that swine is a part of our dietary law that we're not supposed to eat. We're not supposed to eat shrimp, crab, lobster. We have a dietary law. The Lord gave us the things that we can eat and that's clean for us to eat. And he gave us things that we shouldn't eat, because these particular types of animals, they cause disease, man, internally and, just dealing with them. Because they're able to be around anything. They can run through poison ivy and do all kinds of shit, and and eat all kinds of poisonous stuff, and it won't bother them. But when it comes to us touching, handling, and especially eating it can fuck you up, man. So I just wanted to just touch on this real quick. So with that, I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashala.